Hi there! Today I wanted to share with you the repotting of my Miltonia. It is the one that I picked up from the orchid show in April, and it's called the Miltoniopsis Martin Orenstein, as you can see. And the blooms were beautiful, but now they're fading, and that's when I can finally repot this orchid. So let's get started. So as you can see, the orchid did not come in a very good medium mix. It was too damp, and with poor air circulation, there was mold growing on the top. And also on the other side here, there's some green moss. So this orchid terribly needs attention and a repot. So first of all, this is the medium that I'm going to be using. It's a mixture of medium-sized bark, and it's just bark as well as some coconut husk cut up into chunks. And also on the other half of it, I have some coconut coir, as well as large pieces of the coconut husk that I've just broken or cut down into uh, bigger chunks. The coconut coir or fibers is a tangled mess, and we won't be using all of it. We may not use any of it, but I just wanted there to be enough mixture for the repotting. And also, the Miltonia doesn't like to dry out, but it also doesn't like to sit in a wet medium for too long. So you want the medium that is fairly airy, but also that can be compact so the roots can feel a little secure. To remove any dust and also to fertilize the medium, I have soaked the bark and coconut husk in boiling water. And once the boiling water is added, then I just let it sit so that the medium absorbs the water as well as cools down. Okay, so now let's have a look at the current condition of the plant. First, remove the label and don't forget to replace it into the new pot once complete. Hold the plant gently but firmly and squeeze the pot and gently pull out the plant from the pot. Already you can see that all the roots are pot bound and not looking so good. So now the orchid has been planted in only sphagnum moss, and I don't like that. And the moss on the bottom is still damp. It would have taken a long time to dry out and may have rotten all the roots in the meantime. So I slowly start pulling away the sphagnum moss and being very careful not to damage any of the roots, as the tips are very tender and can break easily. So continue doing that until you get all of the moss out. But be very, very careful when you're doing this. Again, the medium is wet while I'm doing it, so I have to be extra careful. But most of the roots look dead anyways, so we're just trying to do the best that we can, and it will take a while. It took me a good 15 to 20 minutes to do this. So take your time, be very slow at it, and try to get out as much of the sphagnum moss as possible. Okay? So finally, I got most of the sphagnum moss out, and as you can see, the roots are not in good condition at all. Most of them are blackened roots that are surely dead, and then there are lots of stringy roots that are dead as well, and a few good roots, just a few. Miltonia roots are generally white and sort of brown, not the gray-green that you'll be used to from the Phalaenopsis. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. And then, as you can see, the middle is rotten and in bad shape. Um, I'm going to rinse the roots in running water a few times to clean out most of the gunk so that I can trim off the bad roots. So now I've rinsed the roots to clean it up a little, and it also allows me to see the roots better. I have a sterilized pair of scissors that I've rubbed down with alcohol wipes to prevent cross-contamination. This is the most important thing to remember with all your tools that you use, especially with orchids. With the scissors, clip off all the dead roots. So what I ended up doing was to give the roots a trim all the way on the bottom, as there were too many dead roots. And if there were any live ones, they will eventually grow back. But you can take your time with the step, as you don't want to cut off too many of the good roots. especially when the orchid only has a few good roots like mine here. So first off, we have to determine which direction the orchid is growing in. So look at your orchid and look for the newest growths and pseudobulbs on which flower spikes have not formed. So in my case, the bulbs in the front, that is a new pseudobulb as well as that one, they do not have flower spikes as yet. And if I were to turn the orchid to the back, those two pseudobulbs that you can see are the ones with the flower spikes right now, or where they've had a flower spike in the past. These will not bloom again, and the pseudobulbs merely act as reservoirs for the orchid. So in this case, the orchid is going to grow out in that direction. I have here a 4-inch pot that's suitable for the size of plant. Always make sure to go up only one size in your pot and ensure that the pot has lots of holes for air circulation that orchids love. Using a 4-inch pot, I gently place the orchid, taking care not to damage the roots, into the pot with the oldest growth towards the rim of the pot. So that the newest growth will be towards the center of the pot, and this will allow for lots of room for the orchid to continue growing until it outgrows that pot. Now to pot up the orchid, I'm lining up the bottom of the pot with some of the larger chunks of the coconut husk and taking care not to cover too many of the ventilation slits to allow for air circulation. And if you have only the bark medium, then that's fine, and that's what you will use on the bottom. Now place the orchid roots gently back into the pot and taking lots of care not to damage any of the roots, and I'm placing them snug into the pot. Miltonia's roots generally work their way down the pot rather than area roots like the Phalaenopsis. So you want to spread the roots out evenly in the pot before you start to fill the rest of the pot with the remaining bark and coconut husk chunks. So once you have the roots placed in, and remember to put the old growth towards the rim of the pot and the newest growth towards the center of the pot, then you can start to fill up the pot with the remaining bark medium. So just place it right around the roots and taking care not to drown any of the little pseudobulbs like I'm doing right there. And I will take those chunks out of the way in a moment. There we go. And just making sure that you fill in the bark mix until the level reaches just below the pseudobulb. And you want to carefully give the pot a few taps to help settle the medium cozily around the roots. And don't push the bark mix down too hard, but gently and firmly tap it down to fill any visible spaces. And you will continue doing that until it looks good. And you are almost done. Okay, so there, once I potted up the orchid, I did remember to put back the label, although I didn't show it to you in the video. And I used one of the stakes back into the pot just to help the Miltonia stand up and not flop all over the place. And that is it. So there you have it, folks. My Miltonia is repotted in its new home. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and also if you haven't already done so, subscribe so you can stay updated with all the videos that I'll be doing on orchids, gardening, and other fun stuff around the house. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.